that you make your approach in that way that they love to come to you. You need to be very approachable for that. So now we go to air positive classroom aura. Whenever you go in the classroom, you need to have a good a fresh, you need to deck up yourself very nicely. You no shouting, just some. I have seen few teachers banging the uh, duster on the table, shouting. If the class is also shouting, if you are also shouting, then who will listen to whom? So what you have to do is you need to be very calm, very positive. Just stand in one corner, or you can fold your hand, or in front of the desk or bench you can stand. Let the students see that the teacher is not talking, means the teacher is disappointed. They will calm down. Encourage the students strength. When we shout on the students or tell the student, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you are not doing this not cannot, this na is very negative to the student. You can tell them in better affirmation, like this would have been better if you would have done in this way. How we think as a teacher, that our principal or our coordinator gives us feedback that this is not, but this would have been better if you would have done in this way. And you are good in maths, you are good in science, I trust you. These are the words which really help the students to grow in their career, grow in their, they love that subject. After, means these type of words, if you are encouraging the students with these type of words, rules, let the students be involved. Students be involved mean ask them, "Ki, this is the rule, so do you think that we should go with this? Do you think that out pass and in pass should be 2 or 3?" This type of rules, when you discuss with the students feel they are valued. Their words are kept. Positive reinforcement, as I have already told, tell them that they can do it. You trust them. They are good in maybe in art, maybe in dance. You can tell a good good sentence about them once in a week. This is all you can use for controlling the class and giving a classroom a better environment to go ahead with, means a studying environment. Now, techniques for engaging students. Active learning, as we have already discussed in the very beginning. Active learning means different type of activities which you are involving in the teaching part. Flipped classroom, I will be showing you an example also, where student teach and the teachers listen. First the teachers will be teaching, the teachers will be giving the topic to the student, and then the student teach. Here what happen is, it is a very very good process. It is usually for higher grades, grades 6 onwards, for till grade 12. Here the student get so engaged in teaching the topic that they feel the same as a teacher. So they will read it, do the research, and then they will be teaching. So your target of making the what you want them to know is done over. Group discussion and group activities, problem solving activities, hands-on activities. What we usually do in teaching the classes, getting them outside. Like if you are teaching shadow in the class, then you can take them in the outside, maybe in morning, and show them that which side the shadow is, then in noon, and then again in afterward. These are type of uh, hands-on activities. Then for experimental learning, real world application means when we introduce, for example, financial literacy. If you are teaching financial literacy, means you need to have the budget. So what activity you can do is, you can give them an amount, for example 10 rupees or 15 rupees. This amount need to be given, and you can give them a task that you can make a cake, or you have to make something which need to have all type of ingredients within 15 rupees, or I will give you 100 rupees, you have to arrange a birthday party. These are real world application which need to be enforced. encouragement and feedback, which is really required for every student. It may be grade 1 student or grade 10 student, grade 11, 12, whichever students will be always students. They love to hear a good and positive feedback. Whenever now also, if I go to the class in higher grades, still if they give a good answer, or they are answering, because usually when the students goes in the higher grades, they're a little bit shy. They don't answer. They know, but they don't answer. So whenever they answer, I put a star. They smile, but I can feel, I can see that they are happy. So these make us also happy, and in the next class I think something else, something different, that what I can do to make them happy. If they are happy, then they will love to learn and listen to me. So this is some one activity or experimental activity for problem solving, just a video. See, here you can see how they are, how they are. These are the problem, plan, and then action, and then result. See these ants, and now these, there are three types of ant. This is the problem. They have to, how the ant will be taking the things in the other side. Now they have to do, this is a miss. This, as a teacher, you need to understand that what is the problem. First you need to find out in the class that what is the problem, then you have to plan. Now you as a teacher cannot plan individually. You have to take the help of the subject teachers as well. Subject teachers include co-scholastic teachers as well. A student who is good in maths may not be good in sports. A student who is good and best in sports may not be good in English. It's absolutely fine. So to know and give them a positive feedback, you need to have a planning with all the teachers. Now they have planned that they will be making this problem in bits. Now after planning, we will go for an action, right? Then once the action is done, then we will find the result. Means our, when once we go in the class, we make our rules, then if the rules are not being followed, then we will find out the problem. Then we will plan out the problem, what is happening, what, how we can do it. Then ultimately we will go for the action, and then finally result. Clear? See, these are the active learnings. We have few active learning videos also. Here they have made two lines, one for girls and one for boys. The teachers are giving few instruction, like tongue, toe, foot, toe, head, like this instruction, and suddenly they have to grab the hanky. These are more small activities which are practiced in lower classes. You can do it higher classes in different ways. See, these are the activities where it is just a second of activities. It hardly take 30 seconds to do it, but the student enjoy and they will again concentrate in your class. If that the class is going, monotonous and students are not helped. Same way, as I have already told you, flipped class, the student will be doing the research on the topic which you have given, and then they will come and teach in the class. These are few activities, group activities, which we usually see, which you can implement in your respective classes. This I wanted you all to see this small video. It is, what is the secret of success? So a wise old man, the boy to meet him at the river, and they would be given an answer. So the next day, they set out towards the river together. They continued on into the river, past the point of water covering the noise and the mouth. Unexpectedly, the boy desperately tried to resurface, feeling the fish brush past his leg, but the wise man kept pushing him down. Ultimately, finally pulled, allow him to gasp for air. Then the wise man said, "What are you fighting for?" They exclaimed, "Air." The man the man said, "They have when you want to gain success, you have to fight. You cannot give up. Success starts with desire. If your motivation is weak, your result will follow suits." This was all about my explanation of classroom management. So if there is any question or if anyone wants to know anything, please let me know.
Yeah. Good evening, Miss.
Good evening.
Kindly suggest some good activities for higher classes as well, so that we can involve them in learning experience.
Okay, so for activities, you want which subject, ma'am?
For all the subject, like for English, let's see for English.
Okay, for English, we can interrelate English with theater. For example, theater activities. You can, if you are doing some, you are telling them some prose, you are teaching them some novels or something like that. You can have a role play where the student come, they have that confidence, they know the use of the stage, means where you are teaching them theater, they know the body language, they know the gesture, they know their expression, they know dialogue deliveries. These all will be set in one type of activities. These activities usually for the higher grades we recommend them to get, means come out of the class and do it in the ground. So you can give them particular character to each of the students and tell them to enact in their way.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Language games are also can be introduced to them, because in some lessons they are getting introduced to with new vocabularies, and it
Yes.
is very important for them to learn this vocabularies, because like language games we can arrange in the primary sections, but this vocabulary is important in secondary as well. But to make them use in their day-to-day life and their writing skills and everything, what kind of activity we can arrange them so that they can use them in their writing skills especially?
Yes, so quickly what you can do is you can tell them, means every day they need to carry a dictionary, that is compulsory. Okay, so quickly you can tell them that tomorrow I will be asking any few, means any word starting with A, which is not there in your in your chapter or lessons. Any five new words which you can you all have to learn and get the meaning. So when you start up with the class, you can start with that activity. Immediately you have to tell them to take out the notebooks, write all the new words, all five, only five, that is more than enough. Five new words starting with A and their meaning, how they can do it, and form a sentence. This is how their vocabulary, vocabulary get increase. As well as what happen is, for example, I have written some aeroplane, aerospace, this type of, and you as my partner, as a friend, might have written something five different words. So then we have to interchange and discuss the words. This will help
Yes,
in vocabulary.
yes, ma'am. Thanks. Some students are very shy in public speaking, and when I give them any topic, for example, like we have this extempore in oral exam, especially for 10th
Yes.
standard. So
Yes.
that time, some students they want to speak, but they are not that active. So
Yes.
how to encourage them to speak up on the stage? Because some students are very good, but some are very shy, but they are very good speakers as well.
Speakers, right,
But
right.
they are comfortable in their comfort zone. That means in my class only. But when I take them to the stage, they become like, Miss, we cannot do that. So
Yes.
how
So
to
first,
encourage it?
yes, right. Very good. So first, what we have to do is we have to make them very much understand that they can do it, and you as a teacher, you trust them. 100 times repeat that. I trust you. You will do it. I trust you. You will do it. You can do it. And then you take them with along with, if you'll have a dance class or somewhere, where the mirror is. Let them stand in front of the mirror. Let them speak with them any small sentence, a small story. Let them speak in the mirror with themselves. Then speak with you. Then let them speak with more 2 3 teachers. Let them speak with their friend circle. Then you let them out in the crowd, because all of a sudden, after motivating and you get them in the crowd, they will get confused, they will get nervous seeing the crowd. So you have to get them in pieces and stage.
Yes, step by step. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your guidance.
Welcome, dear. Anyone else? Pratibha ma'am, I think so. You are speaking, but you are not audible, ma'am.
Sorry. Now perhaps I am audible. Good evening
Yes.
to all.
Good evening,
I
ma'am.
wish to add something that
Yes.
what I have started in my classrooms as I am teaching higher classes, UG as well as PG. In PG classes, I am used to do flipped classrooms. As I give them assignments, they do their poetry at home, then they explain in their classroom. This activity gives them chances.
Yes.
Writing section. While I am taking their attendance, I give them pages so that they can write beautifully. Even a single line. They feel attracted to do something.
That's
They
great.
feel concentrated. I am just a few days back, I have started this thing that as soon as I enter my class, I ask them to read or write something, and they love to do writing.
That's great. That's great, ma'am. Ma'am,
After that, I have thought that
implement.
we can have a workshop on calligraphy when I will come across some students who are writing beautifully. So this is how.
Very nice, ma'am. We can implement on
And
this. Yes. Yes.
Madam, we are very much impressed the way you have expressed classroom management.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else uh, want to know anything? Any question?
Miss, could I ask one question? Good evening, Miss.
Good evening, ma'am.
Actually, there is a lot of background noise, so I'll put it in the chat. Is that okay?
Uh, yes, sir. I am not. Yes. 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 It's absolutely fine.
Yeah. So actually, Miss, it was as you mentioned about it was about buddy teaching. Like I used to do it in the prior school. We
Yes.
could engage them to do buddy learning with the slow learners or the average one. Is that okay?
That is
Depending.
absolutely fine, fantastic. But what happens sometime, you have to be now different varying upon the
Oh,
student. What happened, few the first learners start dominating the slow learners.
correct.
So
Yes.
at that
So you have
point
to
of
keep a
time,
watch on that.
yes, you have to make the sure that they want to really want to teach them. They are not,
Correct.
yes, dominating.
They should have the evidence to prove the same. So
Yes.
maybe whatever they've done, so it could be like a you know what we can say, it could be like a feather to the cap, like some
Yes, exactly.
recommendation or
It should,
something to
yes,
the buddy
yes.
student and encouragement to the average of the slow learners also.
Right, right. They should
So
not feel that मैम ने कहाँ पे बैठा दिए, क्या कर रहे हैं मैम, ऐसा मीन्स
exactly.
there should not be 101 parents complain.
Right.
That is what.
So correct, sure, miss. Thank you, miss.
Thank you, dear. Tabassum ma'am, you are not audible. Okay.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar, Principal, sir, and this person. Wonderful presentation. Yes, definitely you're talking about the school atmosphere and environment and the class control and class management. We are dealing with medical students also. So the thing is, you'll find as very, very well placed that there are group of students who are very intelligent. Some of them are okay, and some of them are, you'll find they are more toward mischievousness and other things. Some people, they are not so good in studies. I think the role of teacher is for those students who are really weak. Usually what happens in the classroom, the intelligent students, they keep raising their hands and they dominate the class. And it brings a kind of inferiority complex in those students who are submissive. So how to how to cope up with this kind of situation?
So for those students who really wants to wants to is very proactive, and sometimes they raise their hand and dominate the other student, for them your as a teacher we need to have a set of questions which is known as critical thinking questions, where the question is open ended and can be answered by everyone. So once if you are asking, and at that point of time we need to use a popcorn method. It is known as a popcorn method. You have to take a name of any of the students whom you want to answer, and you know that he or she will answer. Once the answer is done, then you can ask the question who is very means the student who is really proactive, that yes, so now sub XYZ, or now Rahul, so what do you think? Ramesh has given the proper answer. Will you like to add something? This is how we can, handle this situation.
Correct, ma'am. Thank you. And a very important thing, what happened in the classroom, either, the teacher is getting attracted to those intelligent students who are giving answers and the thing, or sometimes, you find we target those submissive students.
Yes.
Right. And we try to trap them and we ask them, and, this happens. But, we want to take them with us. So that is how I think what you have said, the popcorn method is wonderful method. And one more thing I'm doing, ma'am, in my medical classes, what I'm doing is, instead of asking question, I ask them to form a question from the topic. So usually what happens, they have to get a gist. Unless and unless they're not getting a gist, they cannot prepare a question. So on that question answer and debate mode, or maybe the quiz competition mode I go with. So it gives more, exploration of the topic, and it dissolves the barriers in between what the people are having. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Jhimli, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am, I just wanted to ask only one question, that the students now in class, they are okay, right? Matlab, they are mischievous, they don't pay attention, they are thorough. Means they can understand what is being taught in the class, but they don't pay attention much.
Yes.
So what can I do so that they'll sit and study at home, और जो क्लास में किया है वो कैसे उनको एक्सप्लेन करें, मतलब कैसे उनका उनका पढ़ाई कैसे ले?
At home you want to say?
Yeah, at home also, and in class so like they are fighting, so they don't pay attention. But ठीक है, अब क्लास में नहीं किया तो एटलीस्ट घर पे जाके करे. This is what I'm expecting. But
yes, for that, ma'am, from very beginning you have to make the student first very independent. Means you cannot the student your daughter, son, whoever it is, your ward shouldn't be waiting for you to come home and then start the working for everything. Means if they come home, they need to unpack their bag. If they are putting off the clothes, they need to wrap the clothes and keep it, so they become independent. When they become independent in doing all these things, then you have to make sure that the timetable is done and they need to follow. As a class, in a classroom, what the teacher do, the routine needs to be fixed. This is my expectation from you as a student. You as a mother, your expectation need to be very clear to your ward, that this is your expectation. Means these two are you are supposed to do this. But another way I will tell you that as parents, some parents tell that do this, then I will give this. Not bribing. Don't do that, because all of a sudden they become very stubborn if you don't give this. They are supposed to do that. That is the reason you should do that. Make them understand that this you are supposed to do. So you will do. This you will do, then I will give you that. It is not required. It should be very clear. At the time of studying means studying. At the time of game, we game. Outing means outing. That is what we need to do as a parent.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Is it-
Tabassum madam would like to ask something. Tabassum madam, please.
Ma'am, are you audible?
By mistakes, he have raised.
Good evening, ma'am.
Oh,
Hello.
yes. Ma'am. Good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I want to ask you like suggestion. Like in my class, there are few students, two, three students. They don't complete their book, neither they pay attention in the class. So how to handle with them?
So the parents need to be in the very first. What we do is we.
Ma'am, I have tried to call the parents also so many times, but they are not responding. They are not even coming for open day or meeting me.
Okay, so have you tried something, taking their co-scholastic period, because those students usually run for the co-scholastic period. For example, PT, dance, or music, theater. So they
No,
run.
ma'am, he is not interested in all that things. Also, if I make him sit in PT periods and dance period with me in the class, he is ready to sit. And jab tak till when I am sitting with her, he is fine. He is doing his work. Once I leave him alone, like he's not doing anything.
So if you all have a counselor, a student counselor, usually schools have two student counselor. If you all have a student counselor, please take them to those counselor. They will guide them what to do. If not, then a coordinator, principal, vice principal, they will help them. Let the student meet them. They will counsel the student and try to find it out what is the issue. Then accordingly, because particular students, this type of problems are faced by individual student in
Yes,
individual ways, right? We don't know their background, what happened actually, why they are reacting in this way, usually not paying attention to any things. So those type of students can be handled by a counselor, student counselor, or maybe your coordinator or principal.
yes, ma'am. And in the first term, I have made him sit with the monitor. So that time, like monitor was always telling him to complete the notes and everything. So in first term, he has completed the books. But like now, in second term, now that monitor is not sitting with that boy. So again, he's like not
Maybe
doing
what
anything.
happens, see, ma'am, monitor sitting with him or her is not working, maybe because maybe the monitor, he's not liking the way what they are doing. He is completing the notebook by force, not by choice. But here,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
we have to do is by choice, not by force. Because
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
end of the day, when the result will come, he will be standing in zero. That what we don't want, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you can contact your school counselor or coordinator.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Miss, may I ask?
Yes, miss.
Yes, madam,
Miss,
please.
in every class, there is a student who is very mischievous,
Yes.
and wherever you make them sit with, like, if you change the place, you're continuously changing their places. Wherever they sit, they make a group and start talking and disturbing the class,
Yes.
and it disturbs the students who actually wants to learn.
Yes.
So how to handle these kinds of
So
students?
for
Because we are
those,
changing.
yes,
Yes, yes.
very good. For those students only, this flipped classroom is very much applicable, ma'am. Once you done the teaching and you find out that the student are not listening, you can do, as I said, popcorn calling or cold calling, where all of a sudden you ask him or her a question where he will not be able to answer the question. Don't target that. Ask something which he is not able to, start with which he will be able to. Then you can appreciate him and tell that very good, so tomorrow you can take this topic and
Okay.
you can teach us. So once
Positive
he will have,
reinforcement will be
yes,
there.
positive, so once he will be having that, he will love it. But when he will stand in front of 40 students, he will understand that what a teacher is doing in the daily life.
Yes, ma'am. And some students are like continuously cracking jokes. If we ask a serious question, we ask them to participate in the activity, they make fun of it, and then the class gets disturbed. And these kind of mischievous students only, so when
Those
we
students,
plan an activity and then it get disturbed.
so those students need to be given an topic to teach, and especially your coordinator or your head of the department need to be invited to the class to see this.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mushak ma'am, Dr. Swami Shukla sir, Ujjwala ma'am, and also Tabassum ma'am for your nice queries. And Honorable Jhimli madam have explained it very clearly. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Betkar sir, for concluding words. You are most welcome.
And our today's resource person, Madam Jumil, Madam. I think I may be correct or not because it's very hard me
Yes,
from
sir.
first day
It's
to.
Jim, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Jhimli madam, sir. Jhimli. That
Okay,
is.
okay, Jhimli, madam. कोई बात नहीं. Thank you, madam. We all are teachers, and I am thankful to you at first and to whom you have invited, because today we have new teachers. They are here. I think you have shared the link and they make the session very interactive. That is
Yes, sir.
Musharraf madam, and again a few madams were Tabassum madam. All because we are all teachers, and when teachers is explaining something about classroom management, it's a daily need. We have to use these techniques to control the topic. And most thing which you have said at the starting, that when teacher is command on his subject, then student gets hyper control on that, because they getting more and more knowledge, or they getting enjoy, they understanding that subject topic. So it is the first thing, yes, when they start understanding that subject what teacher is imparting, it will 50% control. And after that, because of their age, they are doing some activities, they can be controlled as per your technique, giving some assignment, giving some drama, and giving some to teach them. So these techniques are useful to control the class, to understand the subject topic to every student, and to involve all the students in that activity, maybe from examination or maybe other activity. So this joyful environment will keep students more energetic to learn more and to more attached with the school also. There is no need to involve a parent. I think if the students are responding like this, beyond that control you may get, as you have said, that there should be counselor, all these things. But if you understand student psychology, they might be lagging in teaching, but they having new something, their potential in other fields also, to do some activities. So we can get involved to them as per their skill, tendency, or as per their behavior. Thank you, madam. It's the best talk. In future also you will be invited for delivering a talk related to our educational field. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you every teachers and all the academicians for joining and making the session so wonderful and interactive.
Thank you to all new participants. I was forgotten to that. This webinar series is not for this one day. It runs daily with the same link. Parallelly, we have international conferences. They may start at 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. Frequently, within 1 week, we have 2-3 international conferences, and daily webinar series is running at 8 p.m. with the same link. If you are not in any group, you just save this link and try to join 8 p.m. Daily. So I request all to join a group, or you keep this link saved so that you can click on that link at 8 p.m. You will get daily such interactive lectures from all resource person, maybe from India or maybe from abroad also few. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Just wait for
Thank you,
formal
ma'am.
thanks. Just wait.
Thank you, sir. I think Umeka madam have raised a hand. Madam, would you like to ask something?
Umeka
Okay, then thank
Gopal
you.
Kadam. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. As we know, Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya, Ausa, is organized a world record series too. Today we have completed 331st day of the long series, and the topic was very significant to all teachers, professors, and to all the students also. That is classroom management. This topic have presented so nicely, clearly, sincerely by Honorable Jhimli ma'am, where she explained the different types of learning, different types of class management strategies, and also what are the techniques and the principles of classroom management. Now these points you covered in your lecture very clearly, madam, in a simple language. So I am very thankful to you. You paid your valuable time and joined the session. So we are very lucky to listen your lecture in today's session. Thank you so much once again on behalf of the organizing committee members. Also thanks the principal who is the chief organizer of the series, M. Betkar sir. I thanks the colleagues from my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Honorable Dr. Ken Kadam sir, Praveen Udge sir, and others. Special thanks Mushak ma'am, Dr. Swami Shukla sir, Ujjwala ma'am, and also Tabassum ma'am, and all those participants who joined the series, share some knowledge, share some views in the series. They discuss very nicely. So I thanks to you all once again. Kindly request, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. Now with the kind permission, I declare the session is over. Thank you so much. Again, we are waiting to join tomorrow at 8 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please join all every day with the same link. Thank you.